Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live. At least as of right now, we should be live. We are ready. The official Man Gang Fantasy League tournament is here. We are crushing, absolutely crushing an ESPN PPR draft tonight. I have a community member draft of everyone that watches my gaming live stream. So if you're here on the sports channel and you want to know who's in this league, what's it all about, we have created a fantasy lineup of 12 people that watch me, including one of my good friends, that is going to be in this tournament. It is a PPR league. I'm very excited. There's Burrito Boy. There is going to be a few people in chat that are also participating in the stream as well. So hopefully they're not stream sniping me. And look, I gotta be honest. I feel like I got the absolute bottom of the barrel pick. I am picking 8th. I am picking 8th here tonight. That is, in my opinion, the worst draft spot you can have. I am miserable about the 8th pick. Dude, I am not at all looking forward to picking 8th. I have like a tier of like 1 to 7 players that I really, really enjoy. Then from player like 8 all the way up to player like 14, it's all about the same. So picking 8 or 9, or sometimes even 10, maybe one could fall. But 8 or 9 means I'm not going to get 2 of the guys I'm really excited about. So I'm devastated. It's the worst. But that's all right. We're going to pick through the adversity tonight. It's going to be a good time. Burrito Boy, Chips, it is great to see both of you. Burrito Boy, you're drafting 5th in your paid league. Chips, you're 9th. Geeky is, Geeky's, what are you, Geeky? You're 7th. See, Geeky's in a good spot. I like where Geeky's at. It all depends on his risk management. Mr. Soupman, what up, Tim? Picking Tim Hasselbeck with my first pick. Now we're talking, baby. Now we're talking. What is this? The stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend uses stream bitrate of 6,800. What is my bitrate? Is my stream look gross or is it okay? I've got it up on my phone. It seems fine. Stream seems all right for right now. But guys, thank you for hanging out. I am very much looking forward to tonight's draft. It's going to be a good one. I kind of wish we were playing on Sleeper because like the thumbnail for this video, the thumbnail for the stream, it is a Sleeper draft, and Sleeper just looks good. I don't know what to tell you. Sleeper just looks nice. Let me see. Stream output. I currently have a bitrate of 2,500. Hold on. We can fix that. Yeah, let's go ahead and apply a stream bitrate of 10,000 because we could do that on this computer. All right, hopefully it starts kicking up. We'll see if it does or doesn't. I'm not sure. Elizabeth, hello. Elizabeth, it is great to see you. Let me go ahead and tag everyone. Let them know that I am here. I am ready to go. And let's get after it. Oh, I'm excited. I'm actually very excited. Okay, so I am picking 8th. I've got it really zoomed in right now. So let's see. We've got Burrito Boy picking 1st. Who is Mango? No, so Ace Missy. It's weird. It's everyone's names. Let me get this up on the hubby's iPad. He's like an iPad kid, I know. Well, can I watch you pick or will that ruin things? Chips, I would love for you guys to watch. Don't worry. I'll give you guys the details of what I'm interested in, but honestly, yes, I would love nothing more than for you guys to watch the stream. I'm hoping to average 10 viewers on the stream tonight. It's going to be short, probably like an hour or so. Mango wants us to watch. Ayo. Watch me draft. Thank you. Did I just witness? Okay. I don't know what we got going on here. I'm hoping this isn't the norm. The Brock Purdy picked seconds where I was saying you can get him in like the 14th round. Oh my goodness gracious. What up, Lyric? Welcome in. Holy moly. Okay. Jamar, Brock Purdy, an absolute stunner. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm probably going to get one of the players I'm excited about because of that Brock Purdy pick. Justin Jefferson goes 6th. I can tell you what I was hoping for, but I might get even luckier than that. We'll see. Dude, this will work. This will absolutely work. I'm picking 8th, and I get CeeDee Lamb to fall to me. Yeah, that'll work. CeeDee Lamb, that is one of the, in my opinion, top 6 players available on the board. I get him at 8. I'll absolutely take that. I'll absolutely take that. I'll be happy with that. Absolutely. Let me get stream up, then rip him a new one. Team Milk. Yeah, I think I knew that either. I think I knew that. I'm taking the gamble on Christian McCaffrey. So let me be honest with you. Christian McCaffrey is who I was thinking maybe would possibly fall to me. Just because Christian McCaffrey, if he's healthy, he almost assuredly wins you your league. If he's not healthy, it's obviously a total waste of a first-round pick, and it feels miserable to pick him. It's like the biggest risk-reward in all of fantasy football. But I think he's going to be really healthy. Apparently, all the reports are that he looks really, really good. Also, guys, thank you for 11 people watching the stream. I'm extremely grateful. I have no idea how these streams are going to go typically. So I'm very grateful that you guys are going to be watching. And here, you know what? I promised I went and got a Great Taste, less filling at the store. So hold on. Well, I got shaken up at some point. Dang, dude. Oh my goodness. It's like, what the heck happened there? All right. Well, hey. We got it handled. Thank you, Lyric. I appreciate it. Yes, this is the sports channel. Lots to talk about. So we have Genty, Achan, Neighbors, and I don't know who's going to be 12th. It is a snake draft. You have 1 minute per pick. I think there's only 1 or 2 people maybe that are going to be auto picking. I'm not sure. I think Varkin is one that said he ended up having to auto pick, but I think he's in here. Is that oh well tried? No, that's Varkin to pick 21, so he's in here at least for a bit. She's a gusher, dude. Dude, this thing was gushing like crazy. Got to make sure y'all don't get a bad gif of that. Nash, I know. Brock Purdy's second overall. Look. Elizabeth and her husband are in chat. They're Iowa State grads. They're going and getting their guy, but like, I hope that's the only crazy first pick we get. I hope the rest is a more normal experience. Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Puka and Amon-Ra, Josh Jacobs. So if I'm looking at who I'm interested in right now, I've picked right away CeeDee Lamb, so I've got a good receiver. So I could maybe go for Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, have a balanced start. You could pick for a star tight end and Brock Bowers or Trey McBride, or you could double up on wide receivers and see what comes to you later. I know what I want to do. I am now on the clock. No! Oh, who done did it? Chip sniped me on the Derrick Henry pick. I wanted the Derrick Henry pick so bad. All right, well, look, I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. has fallen to me all the way to this pick. I feel like I have to take it. I've got to take Brian Thomas Jr. I can't. This is just a heck of a value here. Yeah. I'll take Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, as a rookie, he absolutely popped. I did not think I was going to be starting CD Brian Thomas Jr. But I'll tell you what, it puts me in a little bit of a hole at running back because I don't love my rounds 3, 4, 5 running backs. Unless I'm just going to start swinging for rookies and I'm doing like a 0 RB build. Go all clones. Breece Hall, David Montgomery, Jaden Higgins. You can get Jaden Higgins later, I think. I haven't done any research. I'm going to be mostly picking on vibes, last season's knowledge, and ESPN power rankings. See, there we go. See, that matters. That all matters. So, Burrito Boy, you have a paid draft in 30 minutes, right? Yes, don't forget to like the stream. Thank you, guys. We got 10 viewers in here. I'm hoping to keep that for the whole night. I mean, 10 would be awesome. That'd be amazing. This is rolling along. I've made it 60 seconds. Honestly, I'm hoping that everyone averages probably like 20, 25 seconds a pick. Brock Bowers is a pick, and I'm not gonna lie. I thought about taking Brock Bowers over Brian Thomas Jr. and AJ Brown and Drake London. I do think there is a chance even though he plays tight end and not a large amount of your fantasy points usually comes from your tight end spot, I do think Brock Bowers could outscore a lot of the wide receivers that are coming up like Tyreek, Lad McConkey, Devontae Adams, T. Higgins. I do think Brock Bowers could outscore all of them. Talk to me about Brock Bowers. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I think that Brock Bowers could outscore all of them, especially with Jacoby Myers, at least as of right now, #1 wide receiver in Las Vegas. I was about to say in Oakland. Rest in peace, Oakland Raiders. He wants out. And so I don't know what's going on there, but I mean, I think you are about to see a feeding of Brock Bowers, just tons of targets like you've never seen before. This could be the greatest year he ever has in football. I mean, I don't know who else they're going to throw the ball to. And Brock Bowers was a stud last year. And look, I typically think you got to get at least, I'll put it this way. I'm a believer in either getting a star tight end or star quarterback early or waiting late to draft them this year. This year, I feel like there's a couple tight ends that are really, really good. There's a few quarterbacks that are really, really good. And then after that, to me, you can get a lot of similar value way down the line. So if you don't see me picking a quarterback or tight end because I like some of the other options better, you may not see me pick a quarterback or tight end all the way to like round 9 or 10, honestly. I mean, I feel very highly about wide receiver and running back through these ranges specifically. And to me, tight end and quarterback, kind of a feast or famine spot right now. Yeah, T. Higgins is a good pick, though, Geeky. I don't blame you for wanting to grab T. But look, I mean, how can you be mad about taking A.J. Brown? That dude, stud. Speaking as a former Titans fan, current Titans fan, absolute stud. Marvin Harrison Jr., Xavier Worthy goes at the 2-3 turn here. Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, both gone. I'm a little sad. I thought about reaching for Bucky or Chase Brown. I'm going to have to try and make up some running back picks later. I could be scouring the waiver wire for a while when it comes to my running backs, honestly. Jonathan Taylor kind of slipping a little bit. I understand it. I guess if you think the Colts overall, they're not going to be very good. But I actually think Jonathan Taylor is better off now with Daniel Jones as his quarterback rather than Anthony Richardson. Because Anthony Richardson is probably going to steal some touchdowns, if we're going to be honest. Anthony Richardson is going to run some touchdowns in. He's probably not going to check the ball down very much. So I think Daniel Jones actually raises Jonathan Taylor's floor, but not to an extremely high amount or anything. Does Tyreek get fantasy points for women impregnated? Unfortunately, no. I tried that. Well, I guess not multiple women impregnated, but I tried that with Phillip Rivers, just like sheer amount of volume of kids leading to volume of fantasy points, but just didn't work out. Phillip Rivers was a mainstay on my teams back in the day, though. Also, Elizabeth, I don't know your husband's name, but hello, Mr. Gunrin. Pretty much everything I think about you is related to your wife. Take that as you will. Josh Allen goes. I don't blame you for the Josh Allen pick one bit. I don't blame you for that one bit. Joe Burrow goes. Okay, so that's a bit of a fan pick right there. I understand Joe is going to throw the heck out of the ball. It's a bit of a fan pick. Okay, so I've been talking all this noise about how I need to grab a running back and Jonathan Taylor's falling. But now I have Lamar Jackson presented to me right here. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. I think last year might have been the best season Lamar Jackson will literally ever have. 40-something touchdowns. I don't think he ever does that again. So I'm going to actually take Jalen Hurts, which may seem crazy. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts. I don't think the Eagles are going to run the ball on Saquon's back nearly as much. Honestly, I can tell you later why I'm taking Jalen Hurts as well. I've got some other theories in mind, but I think that he's going to touchdown vulture again like he normally does. He doesn't get hurt. Lamar Jackson, I'm a little bit more afraid of him getting hurt. I just think Lamar peaked. And honestly, if you ask me, Are the Eagles, again, going to be the 29th passing offense? I don't think so. I really think that last year is probably one of the lowest years for Jalen Hurts we'll have in a little while. I think they're going to pass the ball more. I think that you just can't hand the ball to Saquon 360 times again this year. So I think they're going to ask him to pass more. I think he's going to have a little bit more yardage, and I still think he's going to run the ball in. And so that felt like a reach, and I didn't even like doing it because the value wasn't there. But I decided to go for it. Now the problem is, oh my goodness, I need a running back bad. My husband is a hater on this guy's team. Whose team? Whose team? What up, Bruno? I don't get anything, but I'm here. Well, hello, it's great to have you, Bruno. You're chilling. Something about the tush push? Oh, the Eagles, yeah. Hey, look. If y'all don't like the tush push, look, anyone's allowed to do it. Sports Mango with the cold one. That's right, dude. We don't have Twitch clips, but it like exploded when I opened it. Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson go. That should be the last of the elite quarterbacks. They all make it through the very beginning of round 4 at the 3-4 turn. So I'm on the clock in 2 picks. I have no running backs. I do have an elite quarterback. And I have 2 receivers. So I am absolutely looking running back here. And I'll tell you what. It's scary. It's scary where I'm at right now. I'm covered on receiver. I don't think. Yeah, Chips and Vinegar has to take something not a running back. So one running back should fall to me here because, I mean, you literally can't play 4 running backs at the same time. So Chips is definitely going to have to go either tight end. Could go for the elite tight end, George Kittle. Could go for a wide receiver like Jackson Smith-Njigba, Garrett Wilson. There's Kittle down there. Probably doesn't reach for a quarterback here. So I'm guessing it's wide receiver or maybe tight end. I need some advice on my 5th pick in my paid league. Who should I shoot to get? I'm thinking either Gibbs or Bijan. Burrito Boy, let me tell you in one moment because I got my pick up now. And look, I know he's a rookie and not as exciting as Ashton Genty, but Amari and Hampton, 1st round pick, and his running mate, Najee Harris, literally is walking around with an eye patch right now. That bro exploded his eye in a fireworks show, and he literally can't see. We don't even know if he can open it. So give me Amari and Hampton as a workhorse. Let's get to work. Let's get to work, young man. So let me tell you, Burrito Boy. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. In my opinion, there are 6 talents that are better than any other in fantasy football right now. Now, you have to tell me if it's a PPR league or not. Like, tell me the rules. But to me, Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson, and CeeDee Lamb are your top 6. Christian McCaffrey is 7th only because of injury history. It is a PPR league, super basic. Okay, if you're picking 5th, like I said, Jamar, Bijan, Gibbs, Barkley, Jefferson, CD. Whichever one falls to you, take it. And honestly, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. At the 5th pick, if I had to guess, Jamar, Bijan, Gibbs, and Barkley are kind of... At the 5th pick, I would guess you're going to be picking between Justin Jefferson and CD. I think the running backs might get taken. We'll see. I struggled to get a good tight end all last year, so I have PTSD. Dude, I understand that. I absolutely understand that. Tight end feels like a value pit. It feels like you think you're going to be able to get a lot of picks. You're going to be able to kind of, you're not a lot of picks. You think you're going to be able to get a good tight end. It's like, oh, this is, a solid tight end that, always does well for his team. But they just don't get that many targets. So it's hard to really get high ceiling performances from your tight ends unless you have someone like George Kittle or Travis Kelce back in the day. Not Travis Kelce now. But, anyone like that is going to get a bunch of targets. Tight ends just typically don't tend to be that way, unfortunately. Oh, so Miss Malicious. Hello, Miss Malicious. It's great to see you. Where's your team? Where's Miss Malicious's team? There are 18 people here, bro. Look at us go. Look at us go. You guys, honestly, cheers to y'all. Dap me up. Dap me up. Not a sponsor. I'm on the clock at 9 picks. I have 2 receivers, 1 quarterback, and a running back. pick number, what are we at? It says round 5 pick something. I'd like to see just the number pick. What number pick are we at? 47. Okay. So let's see. Whose team do I really like right now? I mean, you can't be mad at the first overall. Tim's team, Bijan, T, Tyreek, and Alvin Kamara. Assuming Tyreek is, like, I don't know what's going on with him, but that's a nice looking team as well. I think my sneaky favorite team right now, to be honest with you. Okay, my favorite team through 3 picks is Saquon, Drake, and Trey. My favorite team through 4 picks is actually right next to it. It's Gibbs, Irving, McLaurin, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think you probably didn't have to grab Baker right away. I think maybe you could have got Jackson Smith and Jigba because it was going right to left at that point. And then you would have 2 absolute number 1 receivers, a number 1 tight end, and a clear, like, 2,000-yard rusher number 1 running back. That would have been my favorite team so far, I think. Yeah, I think that maybe is my favorite. Although this one is really... assuming Devon Achane is healthy. Devon Achane, I think, could be the running back 1 at the end of the year. Devon, Nico, James Cook, Devontae Adams. I really like the first 2 picks. I really like the second 2 picks. I think your team's extremely balanced. You got your starting lineup kind of loaded out. I can't be mad at all. I can't be mad at all. It's pretty easy to have a good team through your first 4. It's what happens after that. All right. I am staring down the barrel. I still only have... Oh, man. Okay. I need one of y'all to pick a player so I can justify picking a different one. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I need one of you guys to snipe a player that I think I should take so I can get the player I want to take. I'm surprised Chuba Hubbard has a higher ranking than Tet. Maybe just running back bias. All right, only 1 receiver so far for Geeky. Only 1 receiver, huh? Ooh. Well, I mean, you're coming up on a good batch of receivers, so you'll be okay. You just take the best one out of this. Or take your favorite one, rather. You want Zay Flowers, huh? I can't say. I can't say. I cannot say. Is there a Fantasy NBA? Yes, and Fantasy NBA is actually really fun. You have to be a lot more involved with Fantasy NBA, though, because obviously there's games like every night. The NFL is kind of nice because most of the games are on Sunday, and there's one on Saturday, there's one on Thursday, and one on Monday, so it's really easy to play. Ha ha ha! Let's go, baby! Okay, I think Teteroa McMillan is absolutely going to crush, and if he was on the board, I was probably going to take him. But now, I get to take my fan pick. My Titans fans, come on! I have no idea who on earth Cam Ward is going to throw the ball to if it's not Calvin Ridley. I think Calvin Ridley is going to get 15 targets a game. We might not even play other receivers. It literally might just be Calvin Ridley. So I'm taking this as a bit of a fan pick, a little bit of a fan pick. I'm going to reach down. Do I actually think... So here's the other thing. I actually think that Zay Flowers... This is my hot take, and I don't want to sway you guys away from this because I'm just one person and we all have lots of differing opinions. Zay Flowers last year, I mentioned Lamar Jackson had the best passing season of his career. Over 40 touchdowns, very few picks, a lot of yards. Best passing season in Lamar Jackson's entire career. And Zay Flowers only finished as wide receiver, I think, 33 in overall points, which is, or in weekly points, which is, I mean, if Lamar Jackson's having his best year and Zay Flowers is still only receiver 33, even including some injuries last year to Mark Andrews, I just, you know, it makes me worried. And I could be wrong because Zay Flowers is super young and he might really improve. But, you know what I mean? Even though I don't follow as closely, at least I know a lot of players. Yeah, Bruno, fantasy football is hard if you don't watch football. I mean, it's always. Everyone is hard. Every fantasy league can be difficult. Bo Nix going at the 5'9". I respect that. I respect that. It's too early for me. Like I said, I either grab one of the top 4 really early or I wait a long time, just kind of see what falls to me. But there's a lot of people, like if Jaden Daniels hadn't gone to the NFC Championship game last year, we'd be talking about Bo Nix having the best quarterback year last year. Because he was fantastic in the regular season. Now, they were kind of a dud in the playoffs. They got stomped by, I think, the Bills. But Denver looked really good. They looked really, really good. Laporta goes. That is a tight end that I was on the border of saying Laporta was either going to be an elite tight end this year, and you can kind of include him in that group with Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, George Kittle, or he was going to kind of fall down the pack with everyone else. And it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I do think he's in a great offense. I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities to score. We'll see. We'll see. We'll wait and see. I'm afraid to make too much of a pick on that one. All right, my own team right now. I have 3 receivers: CD, Brian Thomas, and Calvin Ridley. I have my elite quarterback. I have my 1 running back. So I'm definitely going to be thinking RB here. And wow. I am entering a running back hole. Ooh. Doesn't feel good. This does not feel good. Do I really want to reach all the way? I mean, I gotta get some running back. Look, right now the only running back I have on my roster is literally a rookie. That is not conducive to winning football games. Yeah, 2 RBs, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex. The most basic scoring and roster construction they have on ESPN. Okay, wow. This is crazy. I drafted Calvin Ridley, and I actually considered drafting Devontae Smith instead so I could combine the Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith points to have really big spike weeks with these two. But I'm in such a hole for running back that I feel like I need to go way down and grab RJ Harvey or Pacheco. Question is, do I think Pacheco was bad last season because of his injury, or do I think he's just fallen off? As weird as it is, I think I'm going to go RJ Harvey. Just the last we saw of Isaiah Pacheco just wasn't inspiring. So I'll at least take RJ Harvey, who does have a lot of hype around him, and we'll have to see. We'll just have to see. Round 7. Pick 8 is where I'm about to be at next. Devontae Smith goes right after me. I mean, that does make sense. Man, I'll tell you what. If, if you had played your cards slightly differently, Geeky, you could have had A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts. You could have just had the Eagles and just been banking on the Eagles playing well every week, which is a fair thing to bank on. Now, do you want all of your points on one team? I don't know. With that being said, I think the guy who won Best Ball Mania, which is a best ball league on underdog.com, Underdog Fantasy, he won $2 million because he had Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, and Joe Burrow. So sometimes if you got a good offense, you got a good offense, man. Who cares if they're all on the same team? If you win $2 million, you don't care. Burrito, you're gonna have to inform us who you are picking in your paid league at 7:30, because I know that's coming up for you. All right, let's see. A lot of tight ends starting to get drafted. This is gonna look like a lot of home leagues where if you're watching this in the VOD, you're trying to get some sort of idea of what your draft might look like if you haven't had it already. We're having an extremely late draft this year, so most people have probably already had their fantasy drafts. A lot of the times, you'll start to see around this point, if people are drafting they start to draft their starting lineup. I will not be doing that. I am not going to be drafting a tight end if I don't love the tight end. I'm going to try and get the best player available. I'm still going to be crushing running backs, wide receivers, try and see if I can get a good pick. Because, again, you never know who's going to get hurt. And in my opinion, this isn't everyone's opinion, but in my opinion, after George Kittle or maybe Sam Laporta, the value of tight ends drops tremendously to where it's all about the same. So I might just grab 2 tight ends at the very end and just call it a day. You know what I mean? What up, Rage Wing? Great to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that's kind of often what happens, Burrito Boys. There's a run on quarterback. There's a run on tight ends. And you're afraid you're not going to get one, so you grab one early. I've tried to make sure I don't do that too often. I know 18 people watching. Again, thank you guys so much. I know a lot of you guys are viewers of my gaming channel, and I'm very grateful that you guys are checking out the sports channel as well. It's a great time. It's super fun. I will be giving updates on the gaming channel, and then they'll turn into videos on the sports channel as well. Updates on the fantasy league, what's been going on. I'll do start-sit questions. I'll do stuff like that. It should be a great time. So I don't want Pacheco. Do I reach for another running back or wait another round? I mean, honestly, Pacheco's not a bad pick. He came off an injury at the end of last year. Like, that's not a bad player. I preferred RJ Harvey because I just think RJ Harvey's super talented. But I don't see an issue at this point with anyone. Like, I might even consider grabbing Rashee Rice because I think my receivers are really good here. CD, Brian Thomas, Calvin Ridley. I could say, you know what? I think Rashee Rice is going to be a dog. I think he's going to score a ton of points. I think the Chiefs are going to be a great offense, and I don't mind waiting 6 weeks to get him. That might be the direction I go, you know what I mean? But I'm on the clock in 2 picks, so we'll find out. Or are you a believer in Jalen Waddle? Jalen Waddle's a super interesting one because, 1, you got to believe Tua is going to stay healthy. 2, you kind of have to believe that Tyreek Hill is going to be, you know, checked out or maybe even traded and Jalen Waddle becomes a true number 1. But he's a talented kid. All right. Okay. Let's see. So this is an interesting one. I could draft Rashee Rice, who in my opinion is a target machine. He's probably going to score the most points per game out of a lot of these players. But he's going to be suspended for a while. Or do I take a look at my board here? I've got CD, Brian Thomas, Calvin Ridley. 3 teams that are not necessarily going to be maybe in high-scoring offenses. Maybe Dallas will be high-scoring. I am looking at a player that is absolutely going to be in a high-scoring offense that I think could see some significant improvement as the year goes on. I'm going to slip down here and take Emeka Egbuka. I think that Emeka Egbuka could end up becoming the absolute number 2 receiver because Chris Godwin and Jalen McMillan are both kind of injured right now. And so I don't know if they're going to be super healthy for the first month or even 2 in Jalen McMillan's case. So I'm going to grab Emeka Egbuka and I'm just going to stash a rookie. And we're going to see what he looks like. I think he could be super talented. Or I think he is super talented. Obviously, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted him really high. And Baker Mayfield throws the heck out of the ball, dude. So I think that we are absolutely going to see some pretty solid outings from Emeka Egbuka. And I'm happy to stash him on my bench for a while. And we'll just see what happens with him. Huh? Don't say that I drafted Hill. Hey, look, as a fellow Hill, I'm rooting for nothing but the best for Tyreek. I do think that this is an interesting year for Tyreek. Last year, in games where Tua didn't play, I think he averaged like 11 points, which is really bad. Like, you can't really start him. The year before, he was like the number 1 receiver in fantasy, or like number 2 or something crazy. He was unbelievable. It's just a God-level talent. And so the question for Tyreek as he turns 30 is he still that super elite athlete that's going to be able to pop big plays? Or Is he kind of checked out? Does he not even want to be a Dolphin anymore? Is he becoming a teen cancer? What's happening with all that? It's hard to say. Jameer Gibbs is my pick for the paid league. Let's go. Okay, so Burrito Boy, I would say if you are in a 10-team league and you got Jameer Gibbs, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So you're going to be picking around here. You could try and double up on running back with Josh Jacobs or Derrick Henry if they're available. I don't think you should probably reach for Bucky Irving. I think you're going to be able to get a really, really exciting wide receiver at that point. I would take, if Amon-Ra St. Brown or Nico Collins are there, I'd grab them. If they're not there, Brian Thomas Jr. or I'll put it this way. BTJ, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors are all kind of in the same tier for me. Then there's a very small tier drop to A.J. Brown, Brock Bowers, Drake London. I think you'll probably be able to get one of those guys. And if you can't get one of those first guys I listed, then that means Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs is likely available, and you can grab them and just be double running back right off the start. You're going to be in awesome shape. Now, which one of you is a ball knower? Which one of you knows about Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt? Gosh darn it, that was my sneaky pick. That was my sneaky pick. I was trying to not say a darn thing about Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, and here we are. Y'all are sneaking away with my with my picks, with the ones I want. What up, Squishy? St. Brown should be the better choice. I do think St. Brown. The floor St. Brown gives you is unbelievable. He's so consistent, and he can obviously score a bunch of touchdowns and have good spike weeks, but he's so consistent. Like, if Christian McCaffrey is the biggest boom or bust candidate in the first round, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the I know he's got me guy. Like, I know Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's got me no matter what. If anybody got me, St. Brown got me. Okay. I might go receiver again, dude. I'm going to grab Rome Odunze. I mean, they drafted him with the 10th overall pick last year. Ben Johnson, great offensive coordinator with the Detroit. Actually, now I'm going to take the proven commodity. I'm going to take the suspended proven commodity. I have so many good wide receivers. I'm going to be okay with... you know what? I've got a good... Jalen Hurts, great leader. My team, Jalen Hurts, he's a great leader. Good locker room presence. He's going to straighten out. He's going to straighten out Rashee Rice. We'll be fine. We have leaders on my team. Is that who you wanted, Geeky? Is that who you wanted? You wanted Rashee to fall to you? I mean, Rome Odunze. You can't be mad by Rome Odunze. Burrito Boy, let me also say, you mentioned that Travis Hunter can also get you some points on defense with interceptions. I believe most leagues are not going to include Travis Hunter's interceptions as part of his receiving total. That will count as points for the Jacksonville Jaguars defense and special teams. It won't count as any extra point for Travis Hunter, but you have to check with your league settings. You have to ask your league commissioner about that. Gonna fan pick the Bengals defense special teams. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Bengals defense and special teams, I'm sorry. That might be the worst defense I've seen ever. Lamar is going second round in your league? Okay, Burrito Boy, that feels early. But just remember what I've been saying in this draft as well. Don't be afraid to wait a long time for quarterback. If your teammates are going to just grab quarterbacks like crazy early, just take the falling value at receiver and running back. Most of your points on your fantasy football team, from a mathematic perspective, most of your fantasy football points are going to come from wide receivers and running backs. That's the two spots. Now, obviously, your quarterback is probably going to have, around 20 points. But you're anticipating that you can get maybe 20 points out of two players, two running backs, and maybe 20 points out of 2 receivers. So you're trying to stack as many good receivers, as many good running backs as you can. And if others are going to pick a elite level quarterback and you're afraid you're not going to get it, that's fine. That means something else is falling to you. Seeing a couple defenses going off the board. Looks like some people are just filling out their starting lineup. I can tell you all right now, defense and special teams and kicker, those will be my very last picks. Those are going to be my very, very, very last picks. I don't have a tight end though. So let me look for a second. Who do we have? Okay. Got some young guys still available. Where are we right now? Okay, I see where we're at. See about where we're at. I'm on the clock in 3 picks. It's weird because I see right here, like, let me tell you this. A lot, St. Brown's still available. Shoot, I'd take him if I were you. If you've got him, you take him. This is where I think a lot of people are going to win some fantasy leagues. Look at this. We are in round 9. And you can still get Dak Prescott and Justin Herbert in round 9. I mean, these players are going to score a lot of points. Dak Prescott might be trailing by 20 in every single game he plays this year because the Cowboys traded Micah Parsons. He's going to put up so many garbage time stats and be a fantasy giant. I was actually thinking about just waiting and grabbing him this late. Now, obviously, I already have Jalen Hurts, so I won't be using another pick on Dak Prescott here. I don't think I would play Dak Prescott very much. I don't really love many of these picks, to be honest with you. But honestly, when you're in, when you're at this point in the draft, you're not going to love a ton. I'll take Javonte Williams. I think he's the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys. But who knows if the Dallas Cowboys are going to have any running game whatsoever. I'll just take him and hope that he kind of pans out. But I'm going to be honest, it's hard to know for sure. All right, let's see. Let me see who's got my favorite team so far. Let's take a look at some of the early winners that I had. This team here, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky Irving, Terry McLaurin, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Tony Pollard, Travis Kelce, JJ McCarthy, Matthew Golden, David Njoku. I really like your first 5 picks all being running backs and wide receivers. I think that's good. Didn't fall for the, oh, shoot, I need to grab a quarterback because everyone else is grabbing one. Now, you did end up getting JJ McCarthy down here. If you believe in JJ McCarthy, maybe a good pick. I'm afraid of JJ McCarthy just because I haven't seen him play football in a year, but that doesn't mean anything. He could be outstanding because the Vikings just have amazing weapons and Kevin O'Connell's a great coach. Travis Kelce, I'm going to be honest. I think he's washed. He's just old. He's the oldest skill position player in the NFL. He's just old. And that's okay. It just happens. Father Time's undefeated. Your other tight end is David Njoku, who I think is extremely talented. But is Cleveland going to score like 10 points a game? So that makes me nervous. So if I were looking at that team, the only thing I'd be afraid of really is tight end. And then I'm sure you're going to grab another quarterback at some point. Let's see. Who else had a team most interested? I like Tim's team. If you believe in Patrick Mahomes, that's a good pick. Patrick Mahomes in a weird spot where he's like obviously the best quarterback in the NFL or one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, yet his numbers are terrible and you would never want him in fantasy. But that's certainly an interesting team. Kyler Murray's an interesting fantasy quarterback too because he can run the ball a little bit. But is Kyler Murray going to be terrible when Black Ops 7 comes out? That's always an important question. Let me take a reminder of who I have right now and who's available to me. I've got all my starters filled out except for tight end. And I have 2 wide receivers and 1 running back on my bench. I believe the NFL will help Patrick score more points. Shoot, you might be right. You might be right, Tim. You could be onto something there. All right, I know who I want. Question is just going to be, where will it happen, you know? Colston Loveland, that could be a good pick. Shout out the Michigan man. That could be a good pick. The first tight end taken in this last NFL draft. High draft capital on him and Tyler Warren, both being first-round tight ends. Something you just don't see that often. So that could show you that the Bears really want to get him the football. You've got 3 wide receivers with the same bye. I ain't worried about that. I am not worried about that. Here's something you got to remember, Geeky. Unless you have a ton of players. Well, first off, let me make my pick. I was hoping to get Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland. I was going to go with one of the rookie tight ends on the Bears or either the Colts. I kind of like this more because I think the Bears have a lot of really good weapons, and I don't think the Colts have a lot of really good weapons. So I think there's just less target competition for Tyler Warren. So I will take Tyler Warren, and I'll finally have my tight end spot filled out. I waited until round 10 to grab my starting tight end. So that shows you can get really good value really late in drafts if you're willing to stomach the uncomfortable waiting period of, crap, I'm drafting bench players and I don't even have my starting lineup filled out. Now, let me tell you, Geeky, I do not believe that you should look at your bye. Now, if you look at your bye weeks and you've got 9 guys with a week 10 bye, that could be an issue. But if we're going to be honest, so much of our teams change throughout the year that by the time you get to week 10, you might only have half these guys on your roster. You may have traded some may have gotten injured and they're out for the year. Some may have just been trash, so you dropped them and picked up someone different on the waiver wire. So when you're drafting and you've got bye weeks that are 10 weeks from now, I mean, who knows what your roster will look like in 2 months? So I don't concern myself with it too much. And yes, I do see that, you know, I've got CeeDee Lamb and Calvin Ridley and Rashee Rice all with week 10 buys. But I mean, look, I've got Emeka Egbuka with a week 9 bye. Brian Thomas Jr. is a week 8. I can find one more receiver to throw in week 10 and be okay. Or I can throw in a running back in my flex spot, and then I'm covered that way. So I don't typically worry about bye weeks. Unless, and I don't typically do this, if you're gonna draft 2 quarterbacks, then you should probably make sure you don't draft 2 quarterbacks with the same bye. Because then at that point, what are you going to pick up a 3rd quarterback when both your drafted quarterbacks are on a bye? That's probably the only time I think about it. That's true, Tim. That's true. I'd rather have a stacked team for every week than one than worry about buys. That's right. I don't want to have a really good player pass me by because I was afraid of when they weren't going to play. Now, they play 17 times. They only don't play 1 time. You know what I mean? So to me, that's okay. Y'all have been great drafters, by the way. Y'all have been on top of it. You're not waiting the pick down every single time. Usually gives you 90 seconds to pick per round. I figured that was a lot. I gave it 1 minute. We don't want to be here all night. Y'all have got other things to do. It's a Labor Day. I hope you guys have all had a great Labor Day, by the way. I've had a lovely time. So I'm looking at my team right now. We are in round 11. That means we've got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 6 more picks to take. And I have no defense, no special teams, 4 bench spots. I have 2 extra wide receivers. Well, actually, I have, let's see. I've got 3 running backs. I've got 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. At this point, I am looking at my team and thinking, okay, this late in the draft, my eyes are getting heavy. I really don't care about these players. I have no idea who any of them are. So who do I think maybe has a shot to get some sort of volume if a player in front of them gets hurt? That's really all I'm thinking about. I'm either grabbing players and I'm like, ooh, they're still available. I like them. Or I'm thinking, okay, you know, if so-and-so gets hurt, who's the obvious backup, right? I've got someone on my mind that I'm already looking at. There's a lot. There's some pretty interesting players down here, actually. Oh, Kyle Pitts. Who's going to take Kyle Pitts this year? Let's go, Kyle Pitts. Nick Chubb, I like the last name. Nick Chubb was one of the best running backs in the NFL for a while. Elizabeth. Really, really solid, actually. And honestly, you could consider picking him because the person starting above him right now, Joe Mixon, no one knows if he's even going to be playing this season. Like, he's questionable, but the GM is being really cagey about it. Will you review all teams at the end? I'll review some. I'll review ones I get asked to review. Okay. So I'm looking here, and I mentioned this earlier. At this point in the draft, I'm thinking, who's a player that is going to get some sort of elevated status if someone in front of them gets hurt or if someone in front of them gets traded? To me, there's a very obvious workhorse running back situation in Seattle where Kenneth Walker is going to get almost all the carries, and then if Kenneth Walker gets hurt, Zach Charbonnet is going to get almost all the carries. We've seen it happen before, so I will take Zach Charbonnet. He'll just be sitting on my bench until Kenneth Walker gets hurt, and then if he does, I'll just plug Zach Charbonnet in. I'll be very happy. The Chubb chant. Yeah, Geeky, it's always tough. It's tough when someone's coming off an injury that year. Harder to determine. Kurt, I personally believe Chips is OP at this. Good luck all, though. Let me take a look, Kurt. I think I know maybe who you might be related to or a fan of in this chat. Let me take a look and see here at Chips' team. C. Vinegar. One of the only people whose name still says C. Vinegar instead of just their normal name. So shout out them. Shout out Chips. All right. Ashton Genty, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor. Just three absolute stud running backs is pretty sick. Then Mike Evans, who has been as consistent gets for Tampa Bay. And then Bo Nix combined with Cortland Sutton. So if Bo Nix throws a touchdown to his number one target, Cortland Sutton, that's a lot of points. That's a pretty solid team. Jalen Warren, probably going to be the starter for Pittsburgh, so I like that. Chris Olave, just uber talented, but his offense is terrible. So that's why he drops this low. But Chris Olave, I think, is a really talented pick. Tucker Kraft could be really solid. There's so many options to throw the ball to in Green Bay, but I like that. Najee Harris, look, he's been super consistent. Who knows if he can see out of his, left eye or whatever, but why aren't you wearing a Titans jersey tonight, fake fan? I was going to, Elizabeth. You actually reminding me of that makes me sad. I was going to wear one, and then I took Augie on a walk, and I was like, oh, I'll put it on when I get back in the house. And then I never did. Yeah, Chips' team is really good. Only pick I don't like is a little bit of a hater pick. I don't think that Deebo Samuel is going to be very good this year. Because I'm just going to be honest, I think he's fat. That's really the analysis. I hate to say it. I think Deebo Samuel has gotten fat. I think he's overweight. And at wide receiver, with the injuries he's had, and he's fat, scares me off of him personally. But, I mean, in the 9th round, you can't be mad about that. You can't be mad about that. 9th round. I mean, take a flyer on that guy. Why not? He's such an interesting such an interesting player that they might hand the ball off to him sometimes. He might get a rushing touchdown here and there. So why not? Take a flyer on him. So far, I got Gibbs, St. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., and Chuba Hubbard. Hello, Burrito Boy. What a team. This is a 10-team league, right? Debo is a name. Nickname or government name? I don't know, Elizabeth. I think it's a nickname. But if everyone calls you by your nickname, sometimes ESPN will just use that as your name. Like, I don't know if his name is actually Dak Prescott or if it's Dakota Prescott, but he's listed as Dak Prescott. So I think they list him as what people know you as. Okay, I'm sitting here. Again, similar thing. I'm probably just going to take another running back that's a clear second stringer and see if he works out. I'll take Trey Benson. He's behind James Conner in Arizona. If James Conner gets injured, maybe Trey Benson gets a lot of run. If he doesn't, whatever. I'll drop him, right? Who cares? At this point, to be completely honest with you, I'm just taking handcuff backs. If you've never heard the phrase handcuff backs before, it basically means that this player, their entire season, is handcuffed to the health or status of a different player. So, like Brian Robinson. I don't know where Brian Robinson got picked, but he just got traded to the 49ers. Brian Robinson will probably get a little bit of playing time because he's a really good caliber player, but he's stuck behind Christian McCaffrey. If Christian McCaffrey gets hurt, Brian Robinson immediately skyrockets to a very, very high level running back 1. But as long as Christian McCaffrey is healthy, Brian Robinson won't get that chance. So that's a handcuff back. Trey Benson, he's handcuffed to James Conner. Zach Charbonnet, he's handcuffed to Kenneth Walker. There's some other options down there with, similar things. I don't think really that handcuff wide receivers are a thing. Wide receivers you're picking and just hoping like maybe they like really improve. Like maybe it's Jaden Higgins and it's a rookie. Like I really think they're going to improve as the year goes on. They may not be super great at the start, but they're going to be really, really good at the end as they kind of catch their stride. Or you're taking another quarterback. All right. Let's see. The defenses are getting picked. I have not picked my defense or my kicker. Like I said, I will probably wait and pick my defense and my kicker very, very last. There are some leagues which are kind of interesting. I don't know what the purpose of this is, but there are leagues that will let you not draft a defense and a kicker. You can just grab even more bench players and then just pick up your defense and kicker off the waiver wire right before week 1. Which I don't know why you do that, because then you have to drop some of your players anyways. Like, what's the point? But I don't know. That's for the super sports nerds. All right, let me take a look real quick at the Ungremlin household. Wow, wait, we weren't kidding. I didn't even notice David Montgomery went second. Oh my gosh, it's Iowa State players. Oh my goodness, it's Iowa State players. Brock Purdy, David Montgomery, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Swift, Xavier Hutchinson, Cam Scadaboo, Hunter Henry, Bears, Cooper Kupp. Wait a minute. 1, 2. Okay. Not a lot of receivers on this roster right now for the Ungremlin household. Maybe some solid ones. Kyle Pitts. There he is. Kyle Pitts. What a legend. What an icon. What a fantasy football icon that guy is, huh? All right, let's see. I'm clocking 3 picks. Jordan Mason goes. Baishel Tootin goes. What do we have? Where did... Oh, never mind. Justin Fields is such an interesting pick at quarterback because Justin Fields is not very good at throwing the football, but man, can he run the football. Weird spot to be in. All right, let's see. I'm up next. I've been hammering running back at this point. I guess. Wow, I really don't have very many tight end options to pick, huh? Ugh, that's not good. Shoot, heck it. Maybe I'll just go one tight end. I don't need a backup. If he gets hurt, I'll find something. Okay. I will... He's not even signed to the team yet because of a lot of really weird stuff that's been going on. But I'll just draft a rookie and I'll just go another running back, Quinshon Judkins. We'll just see what happens with him. Again, at round 14, 13, these players might not even be on my team next week, so I'm not concerned. What is that emote, Tim? YouTube emotes are so weird. All right, well, there you have it. It kind of got warm. We didn't drink this very fast, but there you have it. The Miller Lite gone down as promised. Although I had to buy a 4-pack at the grocery store. They didn't sell them individually. Individually, I should say. So now I just got 4 of these. Well, I should say I got 3 of these. So 3 of these left. Maybe I'll just have one per fantasy draft. I've got another one tomorrow with Tim and I's high school friends. Is that one tomorrow or is that Wednesday? Crushing tinnies. I'm going to be honest, when I was holding it like this, Burrito Boy, I absolutely thought about crushing it against my head. I did think about it. Drinking cold ones. All right, let me see here. What do we have? What do we have? Tim, is our ESPN draft with our high school friends tomorrow or Wednesday? Tomorrow? Okay, gotcha. Good to know. Good to know. All right, let's see. Two more picks. Not really interested in basically anyone on the board. Am I just going to go? Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do here. I feel pretty confident. I mean, Justin Fields is making it a long way down. This is the other thing I was talking about here, too. Not last year because he got hurt. The year before. So, 2023 season. Tua Tagovailoa led the NFL in passing yards. He led the NFL in passing yards. And you can get him right now in pick 161. That's why I feel like quarterback sometimes, like, if you're willing to wait, you can. Now, probably want to draft it before now. But you can wait a long time if you really want to. I don't know how YouTube chat XP works, but I'm winning. I don't know. Also, did you guys see you can just do hearts on the stream? I don't know what the hearts in the chat is for, but shout out all the hearts that you can just throw in chat. I don't know what the point is, but you can do hearts, you can do 100s, you can do like those. I don't know what the point is. Okay. Who just got picked? Chris Boswell. What a king. Shoot. You know what? I'll take him. Let's hold another quarterback. Justin Fields. Let's see what you got. And now I'll be drafting my defense and my kicker. I don't think too hard about defense and kicker, honestly. Well, defense, I try and think about who's got an easy schedule, all that type of stuff. Kicker, I literally think, who's a good team? They'll probably kick a lot of extra points and field goals. And that's it. That's all I think about. All right, let's see. Does anyone that's in our league want me to do a team review? Elizabeth mentioned it. Anyone want to do a team review here? I've already talked about a couple. I think that potentially one of my favorite teams is Chips and Vinegars. Chips and Vinegar had a really, really, really strong start through 8 rounds. I love it. Really, really good. I like my team. I really do. I think my biggest hole to me, even though my only tight end is Tyler Warren of the Colts, I actually think my biggest hole is probably running back, because I just have, like, look at this. Amarian Hampton, rookie. RJ Harvey, rookie. Javonte Williams, not a rookie, but plays for Dallas. Zach Charbonnet, backup. Trey Benson, backup. Quinshon Junkins, rookie, and not even on the team right now. So running back is what I'm afraid of for my roster, but I think it's overcomable. Let's see. Geeky said, okay, let me look at Geeky's here. Christian McCaffrey, AJ Brown, Joe Burrow, George Kittle. I mean, those are... Christian McCaffrey could finish number 1 overall in points for running backs. Joe Burrow probably finishes top 5 for sure. I shouldn't say for sure. Probably finishes top 5. I mean, he doesn't have any rushing upside, but he can throw the heck out of the ball. George Kittle, I think, could be tight end. Probably will be tight end 3. I don't know if he'll actually have more points than Trey McBride or Brock Bowers, but they don't have a lot of receivers right now in San Francisco, so he might have a really hot start. Ted McMillan, I think, is a really nice pick because he's a clear number 1 receiver. Devontae Smith, just a number 2 on a good team. Isaiah Pacheco, we'll see. Roma Dunze, super talented, but a lot of weapons, we'll see. Evan Ingram, I don't really know. Justin Herbert, I mean, dude, you want to talk about a good backup. Joe Burrow, your starter. Justin Herbert, your backup. Nick Chubb, he might be the starting running back of Houston week 1. We really don't know. Jaden Reed, I mean, Green Bay wide receiver. You just never know which one is going to be, you know, the soup du jour for that team. Rashad White, he's going to be good if Bucky Irving goes down. Wan'Dale Robinson, I mean, maybe. I mean, who knows? And then defense, you know, defense, right? Let me see. Look at Aaron Rodgers' photo. Where's Aaron Rodgers? Is he even picked yet? Oh, I'm not allowed to draft. I have to pick. I can't even look for him. All right, let me see. All positions. You know what? Let's go Matt Gay. I think the Commanders could have a good offense. Let's grab their kicker. We'll go defense last. I'm banking on Cam Ward checkdowns to a Okonkwo. See, I don't blame you, Tim. I don't blame you. All right, did someone draft? I literally can't see Aaron Rodgers because I'm not able to pick him right now. All right, so who's going to be a good defense? Ugh. I don't know. How do defenses score points again? Rules. Scoring. Defense. Obviously, any sort of touchdowns. Sacks are worth no points. Safeties worth 1 point. 2-point return, 2 points. So it's basically just defenses. Oh, wait, no, here we go. So they have a lot more points in miscellaneous. Okay. It's like fumble return, interception return, like all this stuff. Okay. Go to QBs. I can't. It says no players are available for you to draft based on the search criteria because I haven't drafted my defense yet. That is true, Tim. But some leagues will have points that you can earn on defense. Like, you can have, say, you know, like a half point for every sack. So if a team gets 8 sacks in a game, that's 4 points to kind of help against that. I'm going to pick... Man, I don't know. None of these are exciting. Not a one of these. Give me Big Blue. Because I don't want to have to root for the Colts. All right. Can I now pick anyone? No. My roster's full. Dang it. Aaron Rodgers. Well, Aaron Rodgers is looking pretty rough. He doesn't even look like Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't even look like him. Doesn't even look right. Okay. We're almost done. 2 more picks, and then the board is complete. Shout out to Tyjae Spears pick. Big fan of Spears. Wish he was healthy to start the season. Fan pick kicker. Let's go. Hey. Like I said, I pick kickers based on who I think is going to be a good offense. That's what I think matters the most. All right, and then finally, who's the last pick? Trevor Lawrence goes from the first overall pick to the last. All right, I'm gonna copy the link. We're gonna post it in the sports channel, I guess, in the Discord here. There we go. I don't know what that does. I just drafted my ESPN fantasy football team. All right, guys, everyone throw your teams in the sports section if you want. If you want me to review your team, tell me right now. Remind me which team is yours, and then we'll do a little review of it. As you guys are telling me, I'll go ahead and say, I think I really like my team. If I could go back in time, I would maybe not pick Jalen Hurts, and I would grab Jonathan Taylor or James Cook. Because I'm a little bit afraid of my running back situation. But if RJ Harvey pans out in Denver, I'll be fine. If any of the handcuff backs turn out, I'll be fine. But right now, I really only have Amari and Hampton, and then kind of question marks. Squishy, you're going to have to tell me again which team is yours. Review mine. ESPN gave me a B. Mr. Soupman, the Tennessee Titans. Okay. Bijan, T. Higgins, Tyreek, Alvin, Kamara, Garrett Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Jerry Jeudy, Stephon Diggs, Caleb Johnson, Chris Godwin Jr., Keenan Allen, Jordan Love, Jordan Mason, Jake Elliott, Chika Conquo, and the Buccaneers defense. Okay. I think your first 4, really solid. Your 5th pick could be really solid. You just got to hope that Justin Fields can throw the ball. But Garrett Wilson is extremely talented. Absolute freak. Patrick Mahomes, if he becomes the old Patrick Mahomes, you're very, very happy. If he doesn't, average quarterback, whatever. Jerry Jeudy, #1 target on a terrible offense. Stephon Diggs, he will probably be the #1 target on an offense that may not be that bad. So both those seem pretty equal in my eyes. Caleb Johnson, he could be. So he's a rookie running back. He could take over in Pittsburgh. I will say your only issue, though, is the Steelers, I think literally today, just signed Jalen Warren to a 2-year extension. So you might be seeing more Jalen Warren in your upcoming future than Caleb Johnson. But again, it could be a handcuff back situation. You never know. Chris Godwin Jr., he's injured right now, but he's been unbelievable when he's healthy. So we'll see. Keenan Allen, he might be really good early. I think Keenan Allen could pick up right where he left off and just be a great Los Angeles Charger. Jordan Love, perfectly fine backup. He might actually end up being better than Patrick Mahomes. You never know. Jordan Mason, why not? Take a flyer, and then kicker, defense, special teams, and the Chika Conquo. Is Chika Conquo your only tight end? Did you not have a tight end until the very end? Man, you better. You're believing in Cam Ward, that's for sure. Okay. Let me look at... Yeah, how do you see the grades, Tim? Can you let us know? Okay, let me look at Squishy and Miss Malicious's team. Amis, Devon Achane, Nico Collins, James Cook, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore. Let me start by saying Devon Achane and Nico Collins, to me, both could finish #1 as the #1 overall running back or the #1 overall, what's it called? Receiver. So I think both of those are very, very solid picks. James Cook, I think he is very, very good. You might see a little bit of touchdown regression because last year he scored like 3 times as many touchdowns as he's ever scored in a season. So you might see that number drop a little bit, but I still think he's an obvious bell cow running back in a great offense in Buffalo. Devontae Adams, if he's the Devontae Adams of old, oh my goodness. I mean, even if he is just like 90% of what he was a couple of years ago, you're very, very happy. DJ Moore, he's the number 1 receiver in Chicago. If you think that Ben Johnson is going to be very good for Chicago, then you'll think Ben Johnson will be very good for DJ Moore, and I think he'll be happy. TJ Hawkinson, I mean, shoot, yeah, man. He was really, really good at the end of last year after the bye. Could be a really solid tight end. Tyrone Tracy Jr., you don't really know which running back is going to be the star in New York Giants. He's the starter right now. We'll see if he holds on to it. He might end up being great. Caleb Williams, I mean, hey, unbelievable talent. I don't hate that pick at all in the 8th round. Ramondre Stevenson, an interesting pick. I mean, he probably is getting outshined right now by Travion Henderson, but he's been the starter for at least the last couple years. Colson Loveland, I really like that pick. I think that's a really good one. Rashid Shaheed, random big weeks, you never know. Maybe if the Saints turn out to beat something. Darnell Mooney, similar. Lions defense, Tyler Algier, handcuff back, Jared Goff. If Jared Goff is anything like last year, he might end up being your starter. You never know. And then kicker. I like that team. I think that's pretty decent. Only stuff that I'm not like super duper excited about. If I had to say your team had any sort of, I don't know if you have a lot of running back depth after Devon Achane and James Cook, but ideally it won't matter. Ideally, you just play Devon Achane and James Cook in your running back slots. You play Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, and DJ Moore in your flex spots. Maybe you'll throw another receiver in your flex spot, and you'll just let it ride. Ideally, you never even have to play 3 running backs. Thoughts on my team? Team with Jefferson. Smooth. Let me check. Where's my Jefferson team? 6th. Okay. Jefferson, Brock Bowers, Josh Allen, Breece Hall. Okay. Could be running back 1. Or sorry, Justin Jefferson could be running. I was about to say this same thing a second time. Wide receiver 1 overall. I mean, we all know he's the best receiver in the NFL, or one of the top 2, I should say. Brock Bowers, he probably will be the number 1 tight end overall. Josh Allen, he probably will be the number 1 quarterback overall. That is 3 superstars right off the rip. Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker III, good running backs. I'm a little bit afraid that Breece Hall he's kind of losing some steam recently. There's been weird reports about how the Jets really like Braylon Allen. They might give Braylon Allen more touches at the goal line, but Breece Hall's been super productive the last few years, and people think they should extend him. So I could certainly see him being a workhorse again. Jameson Williams, I mean, the obvious number 2 receiver in Detroit, that could be really solid. Travis Hunter, that's a very X-factor pick. Travis Hunter might be amazing. It kind of depends on how much the Jacksonville Jaguars have him playing defense. I don't like picking a defense this early, but I understand. J.K. Dobbins, a good player that has been injured and bounced around the league, but if RJ Harvey isn't good, J.K. Dobbins could be really good. We'll see. Khalil Shakir, I actually think this is Buffalo's number 1 receiver. I'm kind of higher on Khalil Shakir over Keon Coleman, even though they want Keon Coleman to be the number 1. So that could be a really solid pick. Tank Bigsby, maybe he's the starter in Jacksonville. No one really knows. Marvin Mims Jr. is perfectly fine. Matthew Stafford, perfectly fine. Ray Davis, kind of a handcuff back to James Cook, then kicker, and then tight end. You only have, I was about to say you only have 1 tight end, Jonnu, but no, you have Brock Bowers. I think that's a really good team, Smooth. I think it's a really good team. I don't see an obvious weakness unless your flex spot gets a little bit shaky. Like, you're going to start Justin Jefferson and Jameson Williams, most likely. You're going to start Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. If Travis Hunter ends up playing more defense than offense, then your flex spots like Travis Hunter or Khalil Shakir or Marvin Mims, maybe J.K. Dobbins or Tank Bigsby takes the starting spot in their teams, but receivers typically have higher ceilings than running backs unless a running back scores a touchdown that week. So you never know, but I think you've got a pretty solid starting lineup at any week. What are the top 3 defenses in your opinion? I have no idea. I have 0 idea. I couldn't tell you. From a fantasy football perspective, I don't know. I wish I had a better idea. All right, if there's no one else, it has been an hour and 20 minutes. This is fun. This is very fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for joining me on a lovely a lovely Labor Day night. I had a blast. I certainly enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to talking all about this fantasy league going forward. I think it's going to be a really fun time. If you guys look, I'm actually playing who's Jesse's scary team? Who am I playing against first? I'm playing against Chips first. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite team in the league. Oh my gosh, I got to play Chips first? Oh, you got to be kidding. Okay, I'm already scared. I'm already scared. What a great team. All right, I'm looking forward to it. But thank you guys. I will keep you guys updated. Of course, obviously, you guys are going to be checking your own team, your own leagues and all that. But I'm excited to talk about it. Thank you guys for participating with me in this league. And thank you for watching this stream for a pretty long amount of time tonight. I've really enjoyed it. You guys are the bomb. I appreciate you so much. Tomorrow morning, we'll be live on the gaming channel. Normal, same time as always. Tomorrow, you're going to want to be there. Actually, let me change that. I believe I'm going to be starting an hour earlier. If you're a big fan of daily games, it should be starting around maybe 10 a.m. for the next 3 days because Camp Week with Giggle officially starts tomorrow. 3 straight days. We're going to be playing Caustic, and then I'm either going to play a rotation character or Watson. And Camp Week, we are literally camping so hardcore. Like, I'm talking charge rifles. I'm talking cracking jokes. The absolute biggest nonsense you can think. It's going to be really, really entertaining. I'm looking forward to it. So Camp Week starts tomorrow. 3 straight days. All Giggle, Autumn, and Mango. Should be a lot of fun. We're going to see how many points we can gain. Maybe make it a fun video. It'll be a good time. But thank you guys. I love you. I will see you all in the morning. Have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to go take care of my sick wife. I love you. I appreciate you. Enjoy yourselves. If you're not subscribed to the sports channel, please do consider hitting subscribe. Hit the bell so you get the notifications on when I post. I like to tell you guys a lot about when I post on the gaming channel, which hasn't been much recently, but I don't really spam you guys with stuff about this channel. So if you want to know when this channel posts stuff, hit the bell. Would appreciate it. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. I can't wait to play this league with y'all, and I can't wait to see you all in the morning. Good night.